Sanibona bafowethu, uLuthando lo. Le video yethu yesibili on Java programming. So assume ukuthi usuyakwazi ukuthi udownloadile u-Eclipse wakho okuyi-environment eso create wona ama programs ethu. If ungakwenzanga lokho, ngicela ucheck ivideo yami yokuqala kwi-description la below. So assume ukuthi at this point la ngikhona nami. So into yokuqala esizoyenza siya la create new project. I-project iqambe igama sizothi mhlambe project A yabo. So nansi location kahle so you should check this le directory le. So i-location yakho la uzothola khona whatever ama programs owenzayo. So izohluka ke eyakho izoba dependent kwi-laptop yakho or kwi-computer yakho yabo, ngeke ifane nala kumina mhlawumbe wena ngeke ube nabo student, but u-Eclipse workspace you will surely have, most likely have Eclipse workspace, then ekugcineni kube igama le-project yakho. Okay, asikwenzele lokho uyafinish. Okay, laphaya mavela lokho you just close that. Okay, mase uzobe usungena kwi-space esikanje, right, uye laphaya u-expand leyanto. And then so you can yabo lapha la ku project A u right click khona uzovelelwa into ekanje. So mawufika la uya ku package. So u-package kahle asikazi u-programmer but sifuna u-package ama-code ethu or beka ndawonye ila siwaqoqa khona onke yabo. So sizothi my package 1 yabo. So ila ama-code ethu siwafaka khona, finish. Then siyaqala la suthi new uya ku class, so create a class and then you create a class name. So class name mhlambe sothi code and then click lapha le method le public state void main. So okwamanje just keep on just click this until yabo ngizokuchazela later on, you know what that does, but it's not, it just makes sure ukuthi whatever soyibhala izo executeka kwi console, whatever program soyibhala. And then finish. Yeah. So Java it's an object-oriented programming language. So most of the time you find yourself having to work with classes and objects, but so ichaza lezo zinto as we continue as we go deeper into Java programming. So masosula into yokuqala efele siyenze, so uyakhumbula ukuthi ngikhulume ngendaba ukuthi lo public static void uzoyenza ukuthi sikwazi ukuthi sithole izinto zethu kwi-console. So i-console ile space less, so ila kuzovela khona i-output yayo yonke into esizoyenza esoyiprograma lapha ngendle yabo. So into yokuqala nje engifuna siyenze ukubona ukuthi singakwazi yini ukuveza any output lapha. So system.out.println and then so on. Yabo. So on. And then we lapha. Then okay. Sawubona yabo, wavela lapha kwi-console. So njalo ubhala i-statement sakho or i-command la ku-Java, you have to always close your statement ngaleya lokhuzana leya comma leya yabo, lento ayigcinile. So uyivala ngala kanje. And uma ufaka into eyigama or i-string, into eziyamagama in programming sisibiza ngama-string, i-type yawo si-categorize as string type of data. You understand? So if you wanna output igama or into ethize, faka lama inverted comma, unless uzowenza kanje. Okay, lesizowenza kanje into mhlambe declare. So into njalo mhlambe sike sithi ke now sifuna ukusebenzisa ama variables or sifuna ukustore i-value ethize kwi-variable, kumele siqale sideclare i-type yabo. So lokho sizothi mhlambe for example string activity mhlambe. So i-variable yami activity in this case yabo, sisithini kokoda, you understand? So sithi kokoda, and then so we say la sisofaka bani activity, so activity. So yabona automatically ayilinka to that variable. So leli agama silistore phi under that name ya activity. So every time masifuna thina ukuprinta u-activity kuzovela kufele kuvele ukokoda yabo, okuyisona string esisistorishile kokoda yabo, yavela as output. So string declare, this is how you declare a variable ukuthi le variable u-activate uzoba yini i-string. So mangafaka enye into la engasiyona u-string kumele mhlambe ngithole i-error, mhlambe ngizothi 23, understand? So yabo, an error exists in project so we can't proceed with that launch. So yabona ukuthi u23 awusona string, 23 inamba awuyona i-string, understand? The only thing engenza u23 uJava u-interpret as a string is if usinga include lawa ama commas la yabo, inverted commas yabo, ima uphuma lapha 23, but nakhona njoba uprinte laphaya awuthathi as into eyinamba, uthatha as igama thizeni le language thizeni, you understand? So I hope you understand leyo nto leyo. Okay, so enye into, there maningi kamanye ama data types yabo, akusona i-string or amagama kuphela singakwazi ukuthi siwa manipulate yabo. We also have ama integers. I can have integer a mhlambe is equal to 2 yabo. So this is how you declare every time you wanna declare a variable, mhlambe a new variable njengo a kanje or anything else, vele uqale usho ukuthi what is the type yabo, what is the type of this variable. In this case the type is an integer, then mhlambe siphinde sifake enye integer ezokubi yabo. Mawufuna mhlambe decimal yabo, number decimal siyisebenzisa u-double decimal, that would be your 0.235 or 1.5 or 3.41 or 3.14, any number, I understand. So mhlambe sithi c yabo, c mhlambe sithi c is equal to, or singangasho la ukuthi is equal to, we don't necessarily have to equate it yabo. No a lesingasho sithi a kanje, b kanje yabo, still the same thing. Bese sisho ke ama values abo, mhlambe la sithi sifuna a abe u2 and sifuna u-b abe mhlambe u3 yabo, and then okay, yaqaphela ukuthi njalo ngilong adder lokho ekugcineni, otherwise ngeke ikwazi uku-execute leyo command. And then u-c ulingana mhlambe sithi a plus b plus b yabo, a plus b about 3 plus 2 loss ndele into type of 5 is output la system.out.println c. Okay, this one 5. So lo 5 izokhipha as a 50 because u-c yakhumbula ukuthi u-c so declare as a double, as of type double or a type that would be a decimal, you understand? So that's why we keep it 5 points. Yeah, as this so mningi ama commands that you can actually execute la Java, especially like those mathematical commands. Amanye, if you want to do some complex stuff, you can also have things like a times b, understand? So can a times b, that would be something like 6, you understand? So if you wanna execute ama commands that are more complex, we also have a maths library where, like, built in, where you can have you have your math function. So you can start with math dot power, for example. So power a b, that would output 8. Understand? So what that does is it takes the first entrance which was a, and then it raises it to the exponent b, which is not. So that is 2 exponent 3, so which would give you 8. Maningi kamanye ama mathematical operations ongawenza yabo, mhlambe you can check them out la. You can even output pi yabo, like just like that, about 3.14, understand? So you can also have amanye, like if you want to do like your sine, your cosine, or arc cos, arc tan, you understand? So onke ala, you just say math dot, then onke ongafisa ukwenza your logs, everything, depending ukuthi ufuna ukwenza ni program yakho yabo. I don't know, for today ngathi sizoyivala lapho. Please do subscribe manga subscribe and ungazise ukuthi like yini efisa engathi ngayenza or nga-improve kanjani for i-convenience yakho ukuze ukwazi uku-understand kahle i-content yalama tutorials. So for now ngizovalelisa, sobonana kwenye i-tutorial. Sharp.